and talk about the rioting and the looting and the
Oh man.
mass craziness that is happening right now. That's just destroying cities. So yeah,
It's not even. I can't even say it's just across America. It's not even across America. It's now. I heard that, at work we were talking about it being in like Europe and shit.
yeah, I've seen people in France protesting, and maybe a couple places in Germany. I can't Berlin maybe. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, so this all started with the unfortunate death of George Floyd, a black man at the hands of a white police officer. Okay. Watch the video, and that man
Disgusting.
clearly should not have done what he did, and he was correctly, arrested and charged with third-degree murder. And I think there's one thing that we can all agree on is that that was a horrific crime, a sin that that guy committed, and he's going to pay for it.
They're
Um,
all going to jail on murder now.
yeah, I just saw that the crime for the murder was elevated from third degree murder to second degree murder, and then the other officers are being charged with like aiding and abetting a murder. So one
Mm.
thing about the transitioning it from third to second is that second degree murder you have to prove that in this case the officer had intent to kill. Um,
Oh my god. Oh really?
so
I didn't know that.
so really moving it from third to second degree is going to be very 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 hard to prove in the court.
Mm.
Like third degree um, is kind of like uh, a little more lenient. Like obviously it was a murder, but um, it wasn't necessarily. You don't have to prove intent to kill. I guess that wasn't like his goal when he started kneeling on that guy's neck. I guess. So it's gonna be very hard to prove in court that that was his intent to kill. So it sounds good, and that's what they did it for. The whoever it was, the attorney general for the state, I believe, did that. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, that we can all agree that was bad. That man deserves to go to jail, and he will get what punishment he's deserved. So now,
Yeah.
after that, we come to these protests, and everybody knows that it's going to turn violent. Like how many times, like you're 22 years old, I'm 26. How many times just in our short lives have we seen these protests turn violent? Like,
I just think about
yeah,
Ferguson.
exactly.
For like that's like the number one place that really sticks out in my mind, especially because you were there.
Right. Yeah, I was
Well, near
I was
there.
about an hour. I was in Columbia, and that was like 2 hours, 2.5 hours away, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, but like just in our lives, like we've seen Ferguson, uh, starts out as peaceful protests, turns into mass riots, looting, arson, and then same thing in
Just destroy a whole town.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, but like same things happen in like Baltimore, and I know there's one other one. It's slipping my mind, but yeah. So like all these people who go out there and like the video camera people, the media people, they're just it's just peaceful protesters, but or you shouldn't be surprised when it turns into absolute chaos. And these people like especially like media people are just they're either surprised or shocked that it's turning violent, or they're totally downplaying it. And like some of the things that I've heard them say, the media say, is that the kind of this is what happens when you don't listen to these people, or like you had it coming for being white, basically, which is
mm,
horrible. Like that's shit. Saying that shit, like the media condoning, that, like the violence and just saying, yeah, well, this is what you had coming, pretty much, or it's deserved. That's like
It's so
that's
fucked.
how you start like a civil war, like us versus them. And unfortunately, because of our skin color, we are the them. We are the white devil.
Yeah,
We are the evil ones. We're the oppressors.
yeah, and it's unfortunate because I ain't got no say in that. It's bullshit
Mm-hmm.
because like now I see on like Twitter and shit, people are like pick a fucking side,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, what? Like I don't hate nobody. I got hate in my heart for no one. Like it's all love from here, you know. But this is scary in the fact that it resembles like the 1960s like race riots and shit. And like I don't well I've never so like race riots and shit like this has happened and it's been, like been known to happen, but like we had to set out I had to set out barricades
Yeah.
because they were worried. Like I had to do that. I fucking drove to work and there was trucks like the big ass like dealers that we had.
Mm-hmm.
They were parked at every entrance, so nobody could get into Beecher, no one could get into the high school, no one could get into the police station. None of that shit. It was
Wow.
all fucking closed down. Like I've never seen a police presence. We had Montgomery police. We had canine units from all the fuck over the place, dude. Like Target's closing at just obscure hours of the fucking day. Walmart's not open. Fucking there was riots like probably 10 minutes away from my apartment in DeKalb. Like
Jeez.
like this is some real fucking shit, man. Like and it's like I don't know what to do. Like we seriously just lay here so hard in the cut because it's like I don't like this. It's fucked up on both sides. Like it's terrible that a man lost his life. It is
Yes.
devastating that it came to that. But is it worth having a riot and burning down a town and risking more people's lives in a fire?
To
Like
the people that are doing it, yes. And to the people that are doing that, it has nothing to do with racial inequality, racial injustices, or George Floyd. It has nothing to do with them.
and this is why I hate going to work every day because they talk about the protesters and the rioters as if they're the same. And that shit irks me and I
No,
fucking they're
not at
not the
all.
same people. They're not the same fucking people.
No,
It's
I
like
agree.
I've had serious conversations with grown men about what morals should be had about people in general. And it's like it's just asinine to me. Like I'm fucking 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I can see better than you can when it comes to promoting life in general. I think just the fact that there is such a lack of respect for life is just disgusting. Like it doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly. So there are small groups of peaceful protesters. They want. Uh, well, really, I don't know what they want because they say no justice, no peace. That's the big saying. But I mean, like, what more justice do you want? The guy was charged with murder. He's gonna be convicted. Well, maybe not now because they changed it to second degree murder, but he will get charged with third and
Yeah,
convicted of third degree. Um, so like, what more justice do you want? Like, do you want us to devolve into 100 years ago, where like we're gonna drag this guy through the streets and like beat him to death for doing what he did? Like, what
public
what what
thing.
justice? What justice is gonna please these groups like Black Lives Matter? What justice is gonna prove like what are they gonna do? What are they gonna accept? And the answer is
Yeah,
nothing, because it's not about justice for George Floyd. It's not about that at all for them. They want to incite violence, to push a very, very radical agenda. They're hijacking these events like George Floyd, like Michael Brown, like the couple others that I don't remember the names of, but they're hijacking these events to promote a very radical agenda that is down with the white man, destroy capitalism, basically turn America on its head. And their core one of their core messages is that like America and white people are inherently racist and evil. And that's so wrong and so dangerous. But like we were talking about, like I mentioned before, the media, which has a very, very left leaning bias,
Yeah.
goes with it and just pushes that narrative. And that's how we get to where we are today, where the President of the United States has to invoke the Insurrection Act to send in the military to break up these riots, to stop people's right to live and their right to property from being stepped on by these rioters.